What's up, guys? It's Mike Gramp72 here, and the past 3 months have been absolutely wild. So many artists have released, so many artists have charted. Blinding Lights still hasn't dropped out, and I don't think it can get much crazier than this.
Donda, 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 Donda.
Jesus Christ, this season is truly gonna be a lot to handle. I don't even know if I could do it alone.
Oh. Hey. Didn't see you there.
Ben! Oh, hi, Ben. What are you doing here?
Mostly people, but hey, there's music too, so I can stay.
I mean, I was just saying how I didn't think I could do my seasonal ranking alone. You want to join in on the fun?
A chaotic chart of album bombs and polarizing singles, chances for people to get mad at me over hot takes, and a collab? Count me in.
I mean, if all the rumors are true, this should be a pretty damn interesting video. What do you say? You want to do this?
It sure does beat people. Let's do it.
Alright, I run on a 13-week schedule, and it just so happens the week I'm doing is the week of the Certified Loverboy album bomb. Jesus fuck.
We could have had Little Sims if y'all were smart, I swear to fucking God.
Shame on you, America. Anyways, cue the opening track.
Yeah, wow. I'm too sexy for this syrup, too sexy for your girl.
Look, album bombs are commonplace on the charts, we all know this, but the Drake obsession is still something we all underestimate. And he never fails to deliver a variety of tracks to clog the system whenever he even teases a project. Throw in this being the cooldown week for another album bomb, and oh yeah, we got Kanye leftovers.
When Donda impacted the charts, it was officially recognized as the second biggest album bomb of all time behind Drake's Scorpion. Well, not even a week later, Drake not only smashes Donda's record, but also Scorpion's, and is now the biggest album bomb of all time. It was so huge that even when looking at the V30, which is Void's chart which I use for my seasonal rankings, Certified Loverboy still left a massive impact on the V30, with each song only having a third of its points counted. Just under half of the V30 was from Certified Loverboy. Its impact was so huge that it knocked all but one of the Donda album cuts off of the V30.
Certainly impressive to say the least, but that being said, talking about that much Drake just seems like a chore, and also paints more of a picture for the music scene 3 years ago than today. So naturally, rules had to be put in place.
That part rings especially true considering both of us agreed that Certified Loverboy was a boring, elongated mess, and that both of us greatly preferred Donda to it.
Drake's attempt at inclusivity to women, or an album devoted to a woman filled with sexists. Pick your poison.
And my poison I'm picking is clearly the one that has the better album cover. And said album cover being no album cover.
True, but I'm sticking to Chugging Barlow and Bear.
Yeah, we fancy like Applebee's on a date night.
So this week we're going to be taking a look at Void's V30, and because it's a collab, ranking them from worst to best this time. If you're wondering why Billboard is in the title and we're not talking about it, well, clickbait is a hell of a drug. Sorry. We decided to only look at the 3 highest charting songs off of Certified Lover, being Way Too Sexy, Girls Want Girls, and Fair Trade. We then took the 27 highest songs without CLB and ran with it. Although not all of it is on Void's Crown Note website, well, she decided to be oh so generous to us and give us the list herself.
Thank you very much, Void, for helping fight the certified Mariah Carey hit resistance off. It helps everyone in every way, so thank you. For our sakes.
We calculated our scores by individually ranking the V30 and then giving each song X amount of points for their position and the tier they're in.
For example, the number 1 and 5 out of 5 will produce 70 points, and both of us have that.
Anyways, we've got a ton to cover, so strap in and enjoy yourselves with this wild and crazy journey of a video we've got planned for you. We're counting down.
You was never really rooting for me anyway. When I'm back up at the top, I wanna hear you say, you don't run from nothing, dog. Get your soul. Just tell them that the break is over. Yeah.
I know I fucked up, I'm just a loser. Shouldn't be with ya, guess I'm a quitter.
Just for the record, as we combine our scores in the typical combining of our scores for seasonal rankings collab fashion, we're going to be relatively placing them into tiers because, hey, tier transitions are fun to use.
Besides, this being the only song here really gets to show just how bottom of the barrel this shit is.
That's right. Ben and I may have disagreed a lot on this list, but you'll see how genuinely polarizing some of our opinions are. But at least what we can agree on is this shit.
Girls want girls where I'm from, hey, well, yeah. Girls want girls where, yeah, well, yeah. Girls want girls where I'm from, yeah.
You know, I'm all for supporting LGBTQ+ artists topping the charts, and this has been a huge year for that. But I don't think this is quite the envelope pusher that many other songs this year have been. I mean, sure, Drake's not new to this kind of territory. Just a peep of every girl from '09 and the punchlines that sounded better when they were ripped in front of the Pitch Perfect movies will tell you that. But this is certainly something, isn't it?
Say that you a lesbian, girl, me too. Hey.
I genuinely am at a loss for words here. Drake is trying to pull this girl, but she clearly isn't straight, and his logical way of thinking isn't to just say okay and respect that, but to say he himself is a lesbian? The fuck?
It's like if Sexy Bitch wanted to be a gay anthem. But seriously, all jokes aside, this song is horribly written, pretty consistently, and still this line sticks out, all splintery in its form and delivery and pure existence. This is the big album track, not just because Drake gave it a nudge, but because of how ridiculous this whole thing is and how notorious it's already become. It'd have that even if this was a throwaway line like many zingers in here, but putting this in the chorus? Great way to attract buzz and attention. It'd be admirable if it wasn't so stupid and, well, offensive.
I mean, I can kinda see why this song was kinda big outside the ridicule. It was one of the first songs of the album and had that coveted Lil Baby feature. And you know that, good or bad, Drake and Lil Baby collabs always have a ton of hype on them. But, well, I can also see why people are dropping this one. This was the second biggest song off of Certified Lover Boy on debut week, and its spot is already getting directly replaced by Knife Talk, so at this point I don't really see this one sticking around for too long, but, well, it debuted at number 2 on the Hot 100. It's eligible for my list season videos automatically, and I've definitely got a lot more to say about this one in 3 months.
It's times like these I'm grateful I stick with the year-end. What I will say for now, though, is that if I had a nickel for every time Drake and Lil Baby make collabs where they talked about 2 women at the same time, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Cause you had a bad day, you take it one down, you sing a sad song just to turn it around.
So, Ben, you ready to get killed for what you and only you are about to do?
Hey, it's now or December, I guess.
Wishing you the best of luck with this one already.
To the boogie. A side step right left to my beat. I like the moon rock with me, baby.
I guess before I mention everything I have to add, pop music has been insanely fantastic lately, and a song that is only number 22 in my ranking shouldn't normally be as high as the good tier, but pop music has been so goddamn phenomenal lately that just a pretty good song that's been kind of overplayed and a little worn out for me is all the way at number 22. Pop is incredible this year, and I don't think you should take its placement on the bottom third of the list for me as anything other than me simply enjoying a lot of music. Ben, on the other hand...
Look, I know some of y'all are looking at the placement, so I do want to iterate. I agree very strongly on the state of current pop music, but this song does not fall under that at all. I know putting it lower than Girls Want Girls may seem harsh, but I'm a sound over lyrics guy, and whilst this isn't as badly written, Girls Want Girls' biggest crime sound-wise is that it gets tiring and never goes anywhere. Butter? Butter is a fucking disaster. The overly saturated instrumental, the agonizingly strained vocals by artists I know do not need to strain to hit these notes, and yet that's exactly what it sounds like. The fact that this song just feels like a condensed migraine. There's so much about this song that genuinely just irritates me, and I'll be sure to expand on it all come December. But for now, we have the version that I likely won't be talking about, so I have to ask, Megan, what are you doing here?
So smooth like the car I ride, even your best party planner couldn't catch this vibe.
I like Megan Thee Stallion. I like her a lot. Good news, fantastic album, one of the best from last year. She has a lot of great songs, a lot of great hits. My point is, she's great. This is the worst verse I've ever heard from her, and it's truly not even close. I mean, she's trying, she has her moments with the ad-libs and vocal layering, and she's the best part of the song pretty easily. But this is still pretty weak for her standards, and she somehow managed to make me feel disappointed by a song I never liked to begin with. I don't blame her. This verse would maybe be more effective if it were wrapped up in a more competent song, but as it stands, this just doesn't quite cut it for me. I know what you can do, and I know what you can do with pop verse feature constraints, so I know we could have gotten better here.
That was a lot. Damn, I kind of feel underprepared knowing all I have to say is song good, that's it.
And to think that's me holding back.
I truly cannot wait to see what you have to say in a couple months. Stay safe from this, I guess.
You think I can run out Ethan's 5-sauce bunker for the winter?
Let's ask him. Oh, that's right. I have a quick little rant about butter myself. So, love or hate the song, I think we can all agree that people in this community are overreacting way too hard to the fact that this was a 10-week #1 that largely got there due to physical sales and quote-unquote chart manipulation. Sure, would I have rather seen Good For You, Industry Baby, and even Jail get the #1s I wanted them to? Yeah, I don't like that physical sales have so many loopholes and count for so little, but at the end of the day, is it really that big of a deal? No, it's not. It's a silly little chart, and regardless of any of this, seeing a K-pop act top the Hot 100 for 10 weeks with the same song is absolutely groundbreaking and something I can and will forever applaud. Sure, the way that it happened might not have been the best way of it happening, but seeing people genuinely call this song reprehensible just surrounding outside factors can be very frustrating, as seeing this song be #1 due to fans genuinely loving BTS and seeing them get the #1 they've been working at for a decade is really all there is to it. Shout out to BTS Army for being so damn dedicated to this. You guys truly deserved all those weeks at #1. So if you're gonna immediately call this song bad just because of all the external factors, chances are you probably shouldn't be talking. I know stans in general haven't gotten a good rep around here since the troll stuff, but that has to change, and it has to change now. And well, I hope saying that Butter's #1 is really kinda cool can be the start of that. Obviously Ben hating this song because it sounds like Ass to Him is one thing though, that is for certain.
Yeah, even with my hatred of the song, Billboard have done way worse. And if the song people wanted to go #1 got there through the same methods as this supposed fraud, nobody would care as much, so let's get off the high horse and treat it like a song instead of a crime.
Guess we don't need that bunker after all.
Speak for yourself, I'll have to hibernate once that worst list goes up.
Fair.
Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Yes, I'm stuck in the middle with you.
Oh Drake, you silly goose.
I'm too sexy for this syrup, too sexy for your girl, too sexy for this world, too sexy for this ice.
This is way too funny for me to dislike in any merit whatsoever. It's so goofy and funny, and while like I wouldn't want to listen to it for more than halfway through, the initial hook and sample is ridiculous, but unlike Girls Want Girls, ridiculous in a good way, and that's gotta count for something, right?
I'd probably be on the exact same page if it weren't for how quickly the charm wore off on me. Yeah, it did make me laugh the moment it started, but whilst I like Future a fair bit here, this one just doesn't quite cut it for me. I guess the enjoyment of this song relies pretty much entirely on how long you find it funny for, because at the end of the day, it's basically an elongated setup and punchline intertwined with no clear match.
I mean, at points I feel that way, but also whenever I go back and listen to the first minute of this song again every so often, I kind of have a goofy little smile on me every time, so really it could be worse. Girls Want Girls could have been the #1 with the single push, music video, and almost second week at #1.
Now that's a funny joke.
Almost as funny as the thumbnail for this video. For the record, the Impractical Jokers and Marge Simpson aren't relevant to this video at all. We just felt like putting them on there because we can.
Oh, Marge is relevant. I just haven't told Mike how she's relevant. Trade secrets.
Ben, what are you hiding from me?
It'll all make sense one day, young one.
But I know, yeah, I know it's a matter of time till you walk back out of my life.
I originally had this song in the good tier and pretty high actually. I guess it's just one of those songs that sounds better in your head because I remembered really liking this before we went back to listen to it, and yeah, this just wasn't very much of a song. Pleasant enough, and the melody of the song is pretty good, but still, I remember this being way better than it actually is.
This one just kind of came and went whilst I was listening to it, and truth be told, the second it was over, I'd already kind of forgotten the whole thing. The song isn't real. It doesn't hold attention long enough to be real. It'll probably be nice background music if they ever make a Gilmore Girls reboot. Otherwise, I got no use for this one.
Yeah, just do me a favor and never fucking mention the Gilmore Girls again, because before I think about it too hard and move this song down to the bad tier on that alone, fuck Gilmore Girls.
And here I was thinking the music would cause our only disagreements today.
Well, my sister's obsession with Gilmore Girls and her watching it full blast in the room next to me at 4 a.m. led to me developing insomnia, that's all I have to say.
Not the sitcom hill to die on. Got it. Just note that if this was a good place, I'd fight harder.
Hey, I like The Good Place, I'm not that uncultured.
And he admits he's uncultured. We gotta move on before he gets a defense in.
Wait, no, shit, I didn't mean that way. I'm an uncultured swine, aren't I?
If a Brit is doing better than you, you've really fucked up there.
Actually, ew, why do I have to have a British person call me uncultured? You're right down here below me.
Hey, don't blame me for your country's inability to pick good artists. Just think, y'all had Louis Capaldi, but could have taken, say, Pixie Lott or Mr. Blobby.
Did someone say Mr. Blobby?
No, moving on, finally. Oh, wow, would you look at that? Another massive disagreement.
My bad habits lead to white eyes staring into space, and I know I lose control of the things that I say, yeah.
Speaking of Brits, Ed Sheeran sure is... What is there to say about Ed Sheeran at this rate? I mean, yeah, Brits have bias against him for a multitude of reasons, but this recent single rollout is so all over the place it seems to have almost overshadowed how much of a disaster Bad Habits seems to be. I mean, it's one of the most boring hits of the year, but considering what it could have turned out as, I don't know if I should be grateful for that.
I like this one a fair bit. It sounds alright, it's kind of a bop at times, and overall it's just consistently a 7 out of 10 the whole way through for me. It's funny because everything about the song, from the music video to the promos to the British quote-unquote person jokes, it is incredibly embarrassing and honestly should make it seem like the song is this grand disaster, but in the end, the song is like pretty alright in my eyes, so it's all good.
Afterglow's still better than this entire single rollout, just so we're clear.
Yeah, it is. Afterglow was truly robbed of being a hit, honestly.
You have to do something really unspecial for me to agree with that statement for a song I'd merely call decent, but Ed sure has managed it.
Also, Ben, while we're here, I will also say that Shivers is better than both Afterglow and Bad Habits.
Shivers is... yeah, get back to me on that one once the album drops, because I'm still not sure what the hell to make of that.
Something about that melody is just oddly sticking with me. I'll wait to say more about that one specifically with my winter ranking.
Not gonna lie, I have consistently forgotten that this is a #1 hit for every moment since it got there, and even if I were to remember, why is this a #1 hit again?
This song is a lot to handle, honestly. I'll let Ben explain why he hates it first, because I'd probably have all the same criticisms with one major difference.
I'm not even sure I hate this one so much as I'm indifferent, but the absence of good really drags me out of it. I mean, it has its moments for sure, but lyrically this song is a train wreck, the performances are weak and shrill at points, especially in that first verse whenever the falsetto kicks in, and the production fails to really grasp me in any way until the start of the final chorus when it gets interesting, and then goes back to chugging along at the same uninteresting pace. I'm really not sure what everyone sees in it. Yeah, I guess it has some melodies that are kind of catchy, and I do really like that slight production change, but past that, this is a nothing song dragged down by an absence of anything handled all that well.
Yeah, my thoughts on this song are pretty much the lyrics are horrendous, and those alone would have it as one of my least favorite songs of the year. But, well, the song sounds absolutely phenomenal, so I don't really care that much about the lyrics when synths go boom. It's one of the best produced songs of the year, and Bieber and Leroy don't sound great enough to get over the lyrics, and it's definitely not good enough for it to be a 5 out of 5, but the production on this song alone clicks with me in a way that I guess it just doesn't for Ben. And I honestly find myself really getting into this at times.
Not the worst Stay song I've heard this year, but far from the best to say the least.
Wait, what's the worst? I'm puzzled. Why do you hate this one?
I think I just have a thing against badly produced, already dated pop cuts that sound like they were made for shitty Lifetime movie kiss scenes and end credit sequences. Maybe that's a me thing though.
That is absolutely a you thing.
Can we at least agree the Mother Stay song this year clears them both?
Oh, absolutely. This one could have been way better.
Hey, feeling young, but they treat me like the OG. And they want the T on me, I swear these bitches nosy.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know, I still kind of vibe with this one. Drake's dronier tone can always work with the right atmosphere and production, and that's exactly what this has. The percussion injects the slightest energy throughout, but it's those synths and vocal sample that really shape what this is for me. I do kind of tune out by the time we get to Travis though, who isn't bad here, but just feels held back, even ignoring the other collabs these two have done together. The song isn't anything special, but for what it is, it's fine.
Yeah, a lot of the problems I have with this are that Drake being monotone just doesn't mesh well enough for me. Drake being more dour can work. Hell, my favorite Drake song of all time is Slow and Minimalist, but this just doesn't carry him well, not even because of the lack of emotion. The issue is that it just doesn't do enough for me, especially because Travis doesn't really do a lot of Travising here. I'm one of the few people to defend franchise, and I have a lot of high expectations as Utopia keeps approaching, but I really hope it doesn't sound as just non-present as this. Travis is best when he's doing this thing, but for everyone to see, and this just isn't for me. Sorry.
I guess they really did have you out like a
Oh, just this one time they did. My expectations for Utopia haven't gotten lower at all with this though. Hell, this song's not even that bad. It's a pretty decent 5 out of 10 for me, close to a 6 out of 10, and the second worst song I have here. Just goes to show how much I love the music being put out lately. And speaking of...
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth.
Finally, some good fucking food. It really took 3 whole tiers for me to have a song ranked at good. Wow, I'm gonna look so negative this entire video, huh?
Indeed you will. Anyways, you ever heard of a genre called guaracha? No? Well, now you have. And one of the biggest songs in the world is a guaracha song. Guaracha is best described as a fast-paced old Cuban genre that dates back to the 18th century. Yeah, this song sounds like that if it had EDM elements and a poppy hook.
The chanting, backing vocals on the choruses, and heavy energetic percussion really enunciate this style here, as the brassy synth riffs and pounding drum machine bring in that nice mix of slight EDM touches and tie the whole package together. It's a good introduction for the mainstream to this genre, as it's both very accessible and also pretty damn good. It's an infectious as hell tune that keeps you hooked and lets you lose yourself in the fun of it all. For a nearly 5-minute song, the runtime never drags or even feels noticeable. It's just an inviting, good time. This is pretty much to EDM lovers what a siren is to sailors, but with less death, maybe. I don't know. I'm no EDM siren victim.
This song is really great in small doses. The thing is, I don't think the 5-minute runtime holds up, plus the full beat with the choral singing is only for about 8 seconds in one part, and I think there should have been a whole part with the full beat and lyrics in, not one or the other for the rest of the time. I've got a lot of small issues with this that only make it a mid 6 out of 10, but this is still enjoyable nonetheless, and I've danced to it in my seat a few times.
Give me a couple party plays of this, and the atmosphere might knock it up. They're just the same for me.
Catch me hearing this live in public and this will be much better.
Don't you dare jinx it. I'm enjoying being able to go places again.
Damn you, lucky the days of partying are more in sight over in Scotland over than they are here in Long Island. COVID's just getting started here.
Hey, on the bright side, at least the US is getting a taste of the other plague the UK never got rid of.
And what would that be? Is this where Marge Simpson comes into play?
Nah, I mean more. Talent show covers.
Wait, what the fuck? This song's great.
This is just a great song thrown into a malfunctioning lawnmower, and then performed by the aforementioned malfunctioning lawnmower.
What? No, this is just a really fun 3-minute jam session, and Måneskin are great, not a malfunctioning lawnmower.
Damiano can be great. Why did he make the conscious choice to sing it like this? That was a decision. Why did he make it? Why did people approve it? Why did any of this happen?
I mean, to be fair, this was under the guise of Simon Cowell, and having watched America's Got Talent for a long time, he really lets a lot of bad decisions fly. This not being one of them. But even still, if you hate this, which I can't hate it at all since it's so damn fun, there are certainly worse talent show covers that thankfully didn't become one of the biggest hits of the year worldwide. You mind if I show you a highlight reel?
I live in the UK, Mike. I've heard them all. Plus, Simon had no hand in this. This was under the guise of the Italian X Factor, which he isn't a part of.
I mean, the show is still owned by Simon, so it still counts.
He may have created the X Factor, but this version ain't his. He judged on early seasons, and he has that creator credit. The only real net positive to this being a hit in the US is that it doesn't have any connections to that twat. And even then, a lot of the stuff he has had a hand in is far, far better.
Nah, this is great, and anything else that's come from Simon is worse. Beggin', great song. Måneskin, great band. That's all.
Swagger Jagger's so clear. That is all.
Okay, fine, you win there.
You don't need no other body. You don't need no other body.
This one's a nice vibe, but considering how little it leaves me with to say, I'm stuck debating whether or not it actually exists. Like, it's there, it does its job. It does it with competence and effect, and I like it. But whenever I try and think of it, I draw blanks without fail every time.
This one definitely takes a few listens to really love, but for me, once it hits hard. Also, not only did we get a Guaracha song crossover in Pepas, but this time we have a song crossover in Yoruba, a language spoken in southern Nigeria, Wizkid's home country. I'm still not exactly sure how or why it crossed over. I know it got a Justin Bieber remix at some point, but neither of us care enough to touch that. But I have zero idea how this managed to chart even in the first place, but, well, I'm glad it did, because this song is super relaxing, and I like it a ton.
Should we just do what dumb, older chart watchers do every time a song charts without them knowing YRB included and claim it had a TikTok boost? Because that seems to work for them every time.
I'd say that, but I have never heard this song on TikTok a single time, and I go on TikTok way too much. So I can't really come up with an answer as to how it blew up other than it just did. And that's very fascinating. I'd like to know more about how it blew up. If any of y'all know, just let us know in the comments. Ben, you're a great friend, I love you, but you have the worst opinions known to mankind sometimes.
Should have ended that sentence 8 words in, bud. I respect the attempt, though.
Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. He always been faking me out.
And to think merely a few months ago, liking this song was a major hot take.
I mean, I think for everyone this song was a slow burner. Not a lot of people particularly liked it at first, but as the months went by, I went from absolutely hating this song last February to genuinely really loving it now. I think it's just the effect this song has on people, especially seeing as how now, only months after its radio peak and it nearly getting knocked off the Hot 100 by Donda, TikTok picked up this song as a trend, and now it's bigger than it ever has been in the past few months, or so that it's been on the Hot 100. I don't really have a ton to add to this one since my last seasonal ranking, other than I've just toned out the dorkiness and let the emotion and vibes completely take over. It's at the bottom of my great tier, but my great tier specifically this week happens to have less songs that are barely great and more songs that are barely not exceptional. This is a pretty decent 9 out of 10.
It's admittedly been interesting to see everyone shift from despising this song to really digging it, especially as the context in which it became a hit has slowly shifted away from consciousness and been projected onto that mess's own music. However, I've known this song for long before that blow-up point, as I first listened to Dreamland on release and can comfortably say that as one of the few defenders of that album, this is easily one of the weakest cuts in the whole thing, largely due to the weakness in these vocals and how cluttered the mix feels throughout. Nothing feels sold, and it's also plasticky in the worst way. It's impossible for me to really get into. It's like an overly chewy steak that takes forever to eat, and no matter the intended taste, feels like a chore. And why would I sit there eating that when I could enjoy the flavors of a delicious steak with better texture like Your Love Deja Vu, or Tokyo Driftin', or Helium, or Space Ghost Coast to Coast, Waterfalls Coming Out Your Mouth, just a variety of much better songs from this damn good album. And seriously, since we're a bit ahead now and people are going revisionist on Heatwaves, I highly encourage you to give Dreamland another chance, because all this time later, even if I dislike Heatwaves, I still don't get the hate for it at all.
I mean, hopefully the tides are starting to change with you in this song. It'll happen eventually, trust me. I still wish Tokyo Drifting was the hit instead, though.
I'm on over a year now of disliking Heatwaves, and it only rose from a 3 to a 4. Don't hold your breath.
Well, this was a big disappointment.
I got a man, but I want you. I got a man, but I want you. And it's just nerves, it's just dick.
I mean, it could have been better, sure, but it's still pretty damn good. Doja absolutely sells every second of her performance here, and the dreamscapey cloud-like production gives that ethereal floating feeling that's perfect for Planet Her, as well as perfect for the tone of this song. It's just a really great vibe that gets interrupted by The Weeknd, who's the real disappointment here, if you ask me.
Yeah, the whole thing for me just doesn't click. It sounds too dark and grudgy to be engaging, especially since both Doja and Eales seem to be phoning it in big time here. We're not done talking about either of them for the rest of the video, and both can be extremely engaging performers who take a mix of their charisma and catchiness and know how to make some damn great music. This song's got none of that. It's not engaging, not charismatic, not catchy. It just sounds like two really talented people not knowing exactly what the full scope of what they want to do is, and just rolling with what they have for the sake of finishing it. This is the most disappointing hit of the year, since I know both of these artists can be absolutely phenomenal, but this, well, hopefully they can improve upon this in the future.
Still better than, like, nearly every other collab on that album, though.
L, Ratio, Youngboy Better.
Okay, so if we're not sure where the hell Essence showed up from, you can bet I have no clue what the hell this is doing here either.
Yeah, I don't really have an explanation for this one either, but hey, I mean, I'm glad this one did too, because it's also pretty nice.
I just wanna slide, parties in the sky like it's 2055. She said, boy you nice, heart cold like some water and some ice.
So this is Sleepy Hollow, a rapper who's been putting music out for over 2 years now and stumbled into success with this track of his, 2055. It didn't even have much buzz that I know of. This has been out for nearly half a year, blew up out of nowhere along the way, got a remix with Coil Ray, and is now a smash hit. I mean, for all I know, this dude's been on the rise for a while and this was just a big break. But here, I know Jack, and so all I have is a song, and yeah, this works for me. Not in any real descript way, not in any interesting standout way. It just does its job nicely, and I kind of switch off to it. It's a nice, albeit unmemorable, experience, and sure, for me it's lacking substance, but for what it's going for, how important is that anyway?
I like this one a lot, actually. I find it to be a super fun and vibey song, and while nothing really sticks out about it, the mean of its parts equate it to be a pretty confident 7 out of 10. It's pretty nondescript, and I've got next to nothing to say about it, other than I really like this dude's low voice and how it suits the mid-tempo but somber tone of the song. It suits really well, and I enjoy this one.
Yeah, it's pretty solid, and the guy has a good vocal tone. I'm never gonna think of it again, but who needs thoughts anyway?
No thoughts, head empty. Only Kanye. No, this does not mean his first song in this ranking is now.
You're a shining star, no matter who you are, shining bright to see what you can truly be, what you can truly be.
It's kind of ironic that we're starting the good tier with a song I consider to maybe be the biggest letdown of the bunch, but hey ho, I'm an asshole.
Yeah, wanna know what it's like? Baby, show me what it's like. I don't want to got no tights. I just wanna fuck all night.
You know, I think I get this song more because, like, well, it's hot. Oh, wow. I don't know how to feel about that.
You need a tissue over there?
No, I'm good. I'm from New York. It's either the equator or the North Pole around here. I'm used to it. You explain while I go turn the AC on very quickly.
Look, I want to like Doja Cat more than I do. I mean, I like her a lot, and I like a lot of what she's doing here, but a large amount of her songs just do not click for me whatsoever. Need to Know is particularly disappointing to me though, because the moments that work here are among the best of the year. That second verse is chock full of gems, and Doja's personality is explosive in the best way there. But outside of that, the song is kind of stagnant to me. The hook's kind of neat, I guess, but the rest of the song feels so dull and non-distinct to me. It's definitely the weakest produced of the singles from Planet Her, albeit not a badly produced cut, but that definitely takes away from it too. As for the tone of the song, it seems to be influencing my friend here's feelings. Considering how I felt about cuts from last year, like Madison Beer's Baby and Janae Aiko's Pussy Fairy, yeah, it's not a gay thing, it's a mediocre song thing.
The thing that sticks out for me is that this song absolutely has parts that are highlights, from the second rap verse to the Vocaloid bridge, but honestly the rest of the song is just good enough and keeps the energy flowing for it to be completely natural into the highlights of the song, and then keep going with that exact same energy. I think the thing is, Ben, you lose all interest when the best part of the song is, but for me, I just don't feel like the dip in quality is that extreme to the point where I still do genuinely love the rest of the song. It is hot, and that is part of the appeal, but the energy and spacey tone throughout keeps me roped in. I love this song. Also, I'd like to ask if we can agree on one thing.
Knowing us and our looking opinions, sure, let's see.
Can we agree on the fact that Ain't Shit should have stuck around and is better than this?
And now you are speaking my language. Few songs get me the borderline yell along the way that one does.
I knew we could agree on something for once. Well, this one was a grower.
We gon' have some fun. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I really did not expect this one to win me over the way it did. First few times I heard it, it was just another lame, bad, bro country corpse being flogged, but now? I mean, some may argue it's still that, but it's just too much fun for me to give a shit. It's got enough charm and good vibes to keep me satisfied, and it's leagues better than Cruise. Though the bar there is low, so yeah. We now have a stupid Florida Georgia Line and Nelly collab that doesn't suck.
I've totally come around on this one. It won me over quickly since my summer ranking. It's goofy and charming, and while a certain other song coming up relatively soon kind of takes this song whole niche, this absolutely has the energy that makes me keep coming back to it, and at this point, I kind of love it unironically. It's fun as fuck, absolutely deserving of being one of the biggest hits of the year, completely organically.
It ain't New Truck, but what is?
I'm just gonna warn you now, something might contend for New Truck's title.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Of course, in a perfectly reliable, fancy, brand new truck we will.
So, how are we splitting who pays for what percentage of the truck? I pay 1, you pay 99?
How much do you actually think Spotify pays me? You know, I always used to mix this one up with Naked. I want to thank TikTok for putting an end to that.
Good God, this song is really good for 30 seconds. The rest of it, I can vibe with it, I like it. Not as good as the TikTok snippet though. The TikTok dance of this song is longer than the usual 15 seconds, and it packs everything you need to know about the song into one little dance and that's it. I really like it, just not as much as Need to Know, honestly.
I, on the other hand, vibe with this way more than Need to Know, even if the latter has much higher highs. The key difference is that Woman is the sum of its parts to me. It's a nice, vibey song with enough pulse for there to be a really cool TikTok dance to, and whilst it's not one of my preferred cuts from the album, it's still a nice atmospheric ride, even if it's definitely the weaker song called Woman by a female rapper released this year.
What's the stronger one?
I wasn't kidding when I said I was bitter we didn't get any Little Sims.
You're right, Little Sims needs to cross over and as soon as possible.
She has so many of the best songs of the year and y'all are missing out, that's all I'm saying.
He has arrived.
Oh yeah, the other big disappointment.
No!
Mrs. Trainer, I love your work.
Oh, how I hate you.
We off the grid, this for my kid.
But when my kids have kids, everything we did for the crib.
I can get you not totally being into Need to Know, but this, I really don't understand why you don't like this one.
I can sum it up pretty easily if you like. Annoying hook.
L.
Boring verses.
L.
Way too long.
L.
And when it finally starts to get interesting towards the end, especially with Kanye who delivers an excellent verse and performance here, I'm past the point of caring because it's way too long.
L.
I mean, sure, the quality is here, but it takes far too much of this song to get to for my liking, and kind of feels like a waste of time and energy at the end.
Honestly, the nearly 6-minute runtime is worth every second. The hook is pretty good, honestly, even if it is the weakest part of the song, I'm engaged every second of the time. The beat is extremely interesting due to not only the trap beat that transitions phenomenally into the drill beat once 5EO comes in, but the fact that this beat is accompanied by a gothic chorus of organs and vocoder, and obviously all 3 performers kill it here. I think the one thing here that's polarizing is Playboi Carti, who is a very you get or you don't get artist, and I get Playboi Carti. I don't know what it is about him. I just find his performance to be badass and absolutely great. The real breakout star here is 5EO Foreign though, who goes into a whole drill performance and absolutely melts the mic. He's been on my radar for a while, and this was absolutely the breakout he needed. He spits on this verse. It's absolutely one of the best verses in all of hip-hop in the last few years. And it's not even the best verse on the song. Kanye has an absolutely great verse, and well, very few other artists can make his corny puns work on here. Kanye goes insane. The fact that this old legend of hip-hop fits so naturally over a drill beat and drill style of rapping is mesmerizing. Kanye's verse is one of the best hip-hop verses I've ever heard, and it's the worst of the 4 Donda songs that are on here. Just a testament to the highs off that album and how the song, while not really being explanatory, is just fire. If you're a person who gets Godzilla by Eminem because it's a guy just totally going loose on the mic while not being actively bad, you'll definitely be someone who gets this. And as someone who gets this, plus the madness of Playboi Carti, well, this song is absolutely fantastic, worthy of its 6-minute runtime. So, there, I hope that changed your mind. It probably won't, honestly, but I am just glad I got to talk about it because god damn, I love this song.
If it helps, I find you talking about it way more engaging than actually listening to it.
Aw, thanks. You know, I hate you for not liking this song, but you're also really sweet for that, and I love you for it.
Why, thank you. Anyways, at least now we can go on to the one I love that you absolutely don't. Role reversal.
Wait, what?
We're so young, boy, we ain't got nothing to lose.
I can explain.
Can you, though?
I mean, yeah, this totally wore off on me. It's a good song, but not overplay resistant. And as much as I hate saying this, I honestly never want to hear this song ever again.
I mean, it's a better start than SZA-ing.
Oh, I like SZA more than Doja on here.
That aside, I get ya. Songs with these light, summery vibes can wear off on people if they aren't 100% into it. It happened for a lot of folk last year with Blueberry Faygo, but just like with that one, this doesn't seem to be wearing off on me anytime soon. And whilst I think I might prefer SZA's performance here overall, Doja kinda leans into her whole momentous side of her personality. She has some great highlights, but I think we've kinda switched from where we stood on Need to Know, because I adore her parts here even outside of those highlights. Still, I get how this could wear out on someone, even if it is my favorite on the album, and puts a smile on my face every time I hear it.
Yeah, I think our thoughts on Need to Know and this are completely flip-flopped, and that's okay. I said all my piece last time I talked about this, but yeah, I don't really want to hear this song again until this season rolls around, which that's soon, but you know what I mean. I don't really have anything new to add to this other than I hope this song stops shrinking on me because I want to love it.
And I have nothing else to say. I won't be repeating in a couple of months anyway, so let's move on to one neither of us will be discussing on our lists. Brutal deserved this song's success so much more, and that might be one of the least controversial takes I make in this entire video.
For once, I agree with you on this one.
Not so hard to have good takes, see?
You betrayed me, and I know that you'll never feel sorry.
The highest song in the good tier is the highest song in both of our good tiers, respectively. Go figure.
This shrunk on me the slightest bit after the Sour album kinda normaled out for me, but I do really like this one still. It's well sung, well emoted, well produced, and it's overall just a very well done song, and as close you can get to great as you can without crossing the threshold.
Same here, except instead of shrinking on me, my stance really hasn't changed at all from last season. It's a song right on the cusp of greatness, and something isn't clicking, but I have no idea what. And that's okay. I still return to it, and there's plenty of other songs in this album I return to as well. But this is just an extremely strong 8 out of 10 and nothing more. Again, Brutal deserved better.
You ready to move on to the great tier?
As much as I'm enjoying the hot takes, let's get into the cream of the crop.
Hey, congratulations, it's a celebration. Party all day, I know you've been waiting.
Oh, great, we still have to talk about this song, and this person is still here.
There's always that crappy Blessed Madonna remix of You Prefer, but we're a few tiers too high for that. May as well get this out of the way fast.
Now baby, stand up, cause girl, you
want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating.
Okay, look, this song is still very good. It's the same slice of retro greatness it was before everything happened. All the people suddenly pretending they never liked this song are bizarre. It's like watching Defenders of the Shitty 2016 Suicide Squad movie evaporate as soon as this year's rendition was like remotely well liked. The point is, this is the same song it always was, and we both really still like it. It's just that DaBaby is DaBaby, and that alone justifies wanting this to go away.
Even without all of the DaBaby stuff, this song has been kind of souring on me for a little bit. Yeah, Levitating has been out for over a year and a half, the remix a year. There are certain songs such as Blinding Lights by The Weeknd and Circles by Post Malone that just never wear off, and I thought this was in that category for a long time, but this, while it was slow, it did end up wearing off on me a little bit in the last few months, and it started happening even before the DaBaby controversy. It's still great and enjoyable and all, but I don't know how long that's gonna last.
Hey, it's still better than literally every song Dua Lipa released this year. Although that's more a statement on Dua than Levitating itself.
I honestly have soured a little bit on Dua too lately. The magic can only last for so long.
Oh, I still like her. I just think the Moonlight Edition was one of those deluxes where you can really tell why the songs were left off the original album. And that Elton John collab is just no good. At least Love Again is doing something on the charts. Whatever the fuck it's doing, I do not know, but it's there and that's good enough for me.
He's back!
Smoking on your top 5 tonight. I'm smoking on your what's the name tonight.
Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning.
Wrong song.
Yeah, but it's way more quotable and I haven't even heard it in full.
Oh, I was gonna say you can just say amazing, brother. Pop off only on occasion, brother.
I am the Omega. PG Lane, Rolly Gang, SIE. Don't you address me unless it's with 4 letters.
Nevertheless, Kendrick is back and on a damn good song too. To be honest, on first listen, this song did not work for me at all. On second listen, I had no idea why it didn't work. This isn't perfect, of course, and I definitely like it less than Mike, but it's still really good, and a good way for Kendrick to return to us in all his glory.
I mean, I agree there. It's not perfect by any means, but this is a fantastic way for Kendrick to pop up and remind us all that he's still one of the greatest rappers ever. It's still definitely not his best verse ever, but it's quotable, punchy, and has great flow. And especially Kendrick's energy on here, good God, it's perfect. Anyways, he's just a feature on here.
Jump in that fire. Jump in that bitch.
Baby Keem is definitely somewhat outdone by Kendrick here, but he's not bad at all. And I really enjoy how he matches with his production, even if his performance on the first beat feels like it wants to be a little faster. He has some good bars too, and whilst I get how his voice irks some people, it clicks pretty well for me here.
I like Baby Keem on here. He's neat, I think. I liked his album a lot. This was one of the better songs on the album, but regardless, good shit. Although I think Baby Keem kind of outdid himself in between this song's release and the album's release, because I really liked his Donda feature a lot. Yeah, that's better than this. You want to know what's also better than this?
Applebee's on a date night. Got that Bourbon Street steak with the Oreo shake.
I love hot takes. They're so much fun to have on lists, but between this and putting Bang directly above Levitating a while back on my channel, I'm beginning to wonder if they work even better in these chart ranking formats. Anyways, this song fucking bumps.
The fact that people think this song is a -1 out of 5 and the death of modern country and one of the worst songs of the year is perplexing, because I don't get the hate for any of this at all. It's so charming and goofy and fun. Like, I do legitimately love listening to this, and I've returned to it quite often. Like, there's a reason Rhinestone Cowboy by Glenn Campbell is so beloved. It's that goofy and cheesy charm that just wins you over, and Fancy Like by Walker Hayes is the Rhinestone Cowboy of 2021. It's such a delightful listen, and I'm honestly more thrilled that it's becoming a massive hit. It's in the top 5 of the Hot 100 right now, but there's nowhere to go but up with now.
Comparison-wise, I think I'd lean further towards Redneck Woman by Gretchen Wilson, a mid-2000s country hit which I've never understood the hate for. But both songs do have this inescapable charm and good vibes surrounding them, and they both even have similar ideas, even if they take fairly different approaches. Fancy Like Hate I understand a little bit more than Redneck Woman, but that's more because at one point I thought the song sucked than anything else. And even then, it was less I hate this and more this sucks. I remember likening it to Falling by Trevor Daniel, because whilst that felt like Baby's first Juice WRLD song, this, at least at the time, felt like Baby's first country song. And yeah, it's still dumb and cheesy, but that's all part of the fun, and whilst I do get not liking how this one sounds, frankly the only reason it's not in the great tier for me is because the vocals on the bridge just don't work at all, especially when he sings the line about Victoria's Secret. I do think the reaction to this has been way over the top. This isn't the death of country, this isn't rancid and evil, this isn't colonialism. It's a dumb fun country song, and at least to me, a damn good one at that.
Also, this song is a remix from Kesha.
Yeah, we fancy like Applebee's on a date night.
Yeah, this is real.
Congratulations to me for predicting it! No, I'm not kidding, I fucking called it. You can all thank me later. I presume my check will be in the mail and my Nobel Peace Prize nomination will arrive shortly afterwards. That being said, I don't quite get why people were shocked that she'd do this, or why they assumed this was a label thing. Kesha is no stranger to dumb and goofy stuff, and if she'd done this in 2013, I think there would have been way less surprise. On top of that, apparently this came together because Walker's daughter is a huge Kesha fan, and that's really sweet. The dude seems like a great guy and a great dad, and hey, it paid off. His daughter is overjoyed, and this remix is even better than the original.
Ready for Kanye again?
Let's do this.
How can I keep going?
You know, I think I gave the impression throughout this video that I didn't like Donda, so let me set the record straight. Donda is a damn good album, the highs are fucking phenomenal, and the lows are so agreeably bad that nobody cares anyway. It's a strong 7 out of 10 album, and despite going in apprehensive, I was overjoyed with how good it turned out to be.
You ranked this too low. This is my second highest ranked of all the Donda songs, and it's about 85% because of Kid Cudi alone. His performance feels emotional, especially with Don Toliver's hook and Kanye's very well sung ad-libs. Cudi being the centerpiece of the two and giving an emotional performance as he always does, and it makes the song feel retrospective, bittersweet, and somber. Absolutely one of the best songs off of Donda and one of the more emotional songs in Kanye's whole discography, and he's got a lot of those.
I won't deny this one is emotionally resonant and somewhat powerful, largely thanks to the incredible performances on show here, and I do really like this one instrumentally. Lyrically, I enjoy it a fair bit also, so there's no real weak factor here. I think it's another one that's really, really good, but doesn't click with me or even stand out so much to me. It's like a really strong album interlude, but not one good enough that you seek it out on its own. It's always a great listen on the album, but I don't have much use for it on its own, even if I do really like it. There's much better on Donda that we'll get to that has way more return value to me than this, and maybe Moon will click more someday, but for what it is, it does a damn good job with it. Also, obligatory Upset Raccoon plug, because I'm a bitch.
I mean, yeah, there's a certain other song on the album that sounds similar to this, and very similar that we're gonna get to soon, and it's also better than this, so that's the reason, I guess. I will say Come to Life is better, though.
Way better. It's not even close. That's top 3 on the album for sure.
Top 1 on the album. Top 10 Kanye as well.
A Kanye expert, I'll trust you on this one.
I mean, yeah, if you've got any questions about Kanye for me, just let me know. So first what you're gonna do is listen to...
I can't believe Jake Paul caused the pop punk revival.
He what? Oh, I know what you mean.
Hey, it's a less depressing answer than Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, this just slaps as hard as it always has. I don't have a ton to add to this one. That I'm not gonna say in a few months.
Honestly, this one gets better with every listen, but even then, I'm not sure what to say now and what to say later. I mean, slightly related, but whilst looking into this song, I found out some of the influences in the music video were films like Audition and Jennifer's Body, so that's pretty cool, I guess.
I'm also glad that the song has had a massive influence in just the last 4.5 months of its existence. Like, we were a week away from talking about an old Willow song from a few years ago that caught wind on TikTok, and even outside of pop punk, Måneskin crossed over. So, like, it's just insane how much power this has had in the last couple of months.
It's definitely having huge effect. It's actually the first rock song to stay at the top of the UK charts for over 4 weeks since Bring Me to Life back in 2003. It's been nearly 20 years since this happened, and all it took was a teenage girl having a shitty ex.
And to think all this madness happened because of Shark Boy and Lava Girl TikTok that Joshua Bassett happened to post. Crazy times we live in.
Kinda funny how Olivia made a generation-defining album that will be remembered for years to come out of this, and Joshua Bassett made a shitty EP where he interpolated Prisoner by Miley Cyrus. No, not Physical, the song interpolated in Prisoner. He interpolated Prisoner specifically. Be happy we aren't in the timeline where Joshua Bassett attempting Miley Cyrus took off, because that timeline is scary.
Well, thank God we were in the universe with the good ending.
The good for you ending.
A few months ago, this song was running away with the contender for #1 on the best list. This summer had so much going on. This song is just as fantastic and emotional as ever, and yeah, it was #1 on my best list a few months ago. This is the remix that's being ranked, so the original would still be a little bit higher, but I mean, the remix is still great. I can say with certainty it's not topping the best list at this point because a few more important and phenomenal songs have been released in the last couple months that just happen to be better than this. You'll be getting effective teasers as to what those are very soon.
As for me, this is honestly teetering, and I wouldn't be shocked to see it miss my best list entirely. I wouldn't be too upset over either. Both versions of this song are amazing still, but they're amazing in such obvious, boring ways that they leave me with nothing to say. The remix is still my preferred version, and if it gets the year-end credit, then I'll have a way better chance of making my list, but as it stands, don't be shocked if this is a mere honorable mention for me come December.
This is still a lock for my best list. This only being #7 on here is because of the Donda album tracks, and I think everything else above it will be the only songs I have above it on the best list, so yeah, phenomenal music right here. Okay, I could kind of get having Moon low, but come on!
Lightning strikes the beach. ADD. 98 degrees. Warm it up for me.
Look, this one is so close to being great.
Let me guess, you're not a We Paid-inator and instead a Lil Baby hating beta male.
We Paid was literally my favorite Lil Baby hit last year.
I mean, it's know the bigger picture, but yeah, We Paid, am I right?
Look, Lil Baby is super talented, and here, he's fantastic. Abel, however,
Father, hold me close. Don't let me down.
is also fantastic. The guest performers here do a genuinely excellent job, as does Kanye for the most part, and the production is genuinely excellent. However, on my channel I've talked about the motivation problem, an issue where one single production element can tank a song for me, even if the song still winds up on my good side. Hurricane has that, but not so much in terms of production, and more in terms of...
I don't think that's that big of an issue, honestly, because, I mean, while I'll admit it's not the best part of the song, every other second of the song is genuinely show-stopping and incredibly close to exceptional quality because, like, not only does Kanye pour his heart out into this song and how his relationship with Kim Kardashian West has affected his mental health and just the general thoughts on escapism as a whole, but the themes of The Weeknd's hook, which just sounds ethereal, the struggle of being able to stay afloat when everything is flying right at you. This song has helped me through a lot, especially these past couple weeks. It's my second favorite song off of Donda and one of my favorite hits of the year, hands down. I have a ton to say about this come list season.
I guess you could say this song swept you away like a hurricane. Now this I can get behind.
Take where you are. Take everything.
You know, we've disagreed a bunch about Kanye in this video, but I'm glad we can agree on something. This song is gorgeous.
This is easily the best song on Donda for me, with its powerful distorted guitar and anthemic feel, the mixing that adds extra layers to the vocals, its mighty yet vulnerable performances, particularly from Kanye on the chorus, and yeah, Jay-Z is fantastic here too. Both artists bring so much to this track, and there's so much complexity through some apparent simplicity, so much meaning between the lines here, so much to take from this song. It never wears thin like some other Donda tracks too, running to nearly 5 minutes with consistent energy and never dropping your attention. Everything here is just so well thought out, so well constructed, so genuinely stunning. I hadn't actually heard Donda in full when me and Mike first listened through all the songs for this video, but he can confirm my jaw legitimately fucking dropped when we listened to this. It's easily my favorite Kanye track in years, and by far my favorite on the album.
I wouldn't call this the best song on the album per se, but damn, it's very good. And yes, we mean just the original Jail, not the deluxe remix with DaBaby and Marilyn Manson. This song is just genuinely great. Kanye's singing not only sounds great, but painful and emotional. And Jay-Z's verse is so exciting, seeing him come together with Kanye after years of beef. It's great. And the production on the song is fantastic too. People say the guitars alone aren't enough, but I honestly couldn't imagine the song any other way. Also keep in mind there's synths and extra instrumentation, plus the part in the second verse when the strings just make my spine chill every time. It's beautiful, and honestly something I've come back to a lot. This is my second most listened to song off of Donda behind Hurricane, and it's not even my second favorite. It just has so much replay value and makes every second of its 5-minute runtime feel like it's gone by just way too quickly. What an amazing album opener. Wait, Jail isn't the album opener? What is?
Donda, Donda, Donda. Donda, 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 Donda.
Just overall a fantastic song, and I'm overjoyed this seems to be one of the main Donda cuts clicking with the general public. To me at least, it's the closest any song in this ranking got to perfection without, like, actually being perfect.
And speaking of, no, we're not at the exceptional tier just yet, or at least the official one. Ben, take it away.
Yeah, despite being way more negative than Mike towards a fair few of these songs, every song left in this ranking got into my 6 out of 5s. Go figure. And hey, 2 of them are by the same guy. The name Lil Nas X ring any bells?
Call me when you want, call me when you need, call me in the morning.
Montero was a phenomenal album across the board, boasting many a great song and many of the year's best, to the point where I'm comfortable saying this isn't even the best track on the damn thing, but wow, this is still an insanely phenomenal song and an incredible opener to it too. It's only gotten better since I initially talked about it back in the spring, and I imagine it's only going to grow on me more as I listen to it endlessly for a long time to come.
I don't want to say too much because I have plans for this one come list season, but Montero has proven to be one of the most important songs of not just the year, but of the whole century thus far. Its impact and importance cannot be denied, and the song is awesome on top of that. I'm going to keep this and the next 2 entries short and sweet because I don't want to give too much away because I've got a lot to say.
Similar boat for me, so let's go into the other perfect single from the album.
Well, it's cool to like Jack Harlow now.
You was never really rooting for me anyway. When I'm back up at the top, I wanna hear you say.
I'm also going to keep this one short and sweet for the exact same reason as Montero. I just happen to like this one a little better than that, and that's mostly all I'm going to give away. This song means a lot to me already, and I don't want to give away any surprises. So subscribe if you want to see in a few months, I guess.
I feel like I can say a little without saying a lot here, so what I will say for now is that I am so unbelievably happy that Jack Harlow wound up the feature on this song. Some of y'all may remember I put Tyler Harrow on my overall 2020 best list last year, and considering Lil Nas X initially tapped Nicki Minaj for a verse on this instead, only going to Harlow when she declined, honestly I'm glad, because I could not see her pulling this off better than he did here. This is quite possibly Harlow's peak, and I'm excited to see if it ever tops this. I think that's me for now, similar boat again, so without further ado...
It's extremely rare for me to give the exceptional tier rating. I've only given one song the exceptional label in a seasonal ranking, and while it normally takes a lot of thinking as to whether or not a song should be in the exceptional tier, while I've talked about a lot of, well, not a lot, but I've talked about quite a few songs in that tier on my channel before, I only have a select few songs I've ever heard to put in that category. It's probably only around 100 songs at this point. So I don't have an exceptional rating to a song on first listen that often. And I can only think of a handful of songs that do. I can list some for you in the comments if you'd like me to, but what I'm getting at is this is one of the few of them.
To put it lightly, this song is so good we're willing to forgive it for single-handedly starting Spectrum Pulse BDSM discourse. Fight me, Shawn Mendes.
When I'm away from you, I'm happier than ever. Wish I could explain it better.
If you haven't listened to this song yet, click away from the video for a short moment and listen to the whole thing. Not the radio edit, the entire 5.5 minute experience this song brings. I have no hesitation calling it one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life, and I don't want you to be spoiled. 3 months, sure, I'll fill you in on every nook and cranny of thoughts I have on this song, but for now, just listen to it blind on your own. It's absolutely necessary to do it that way.
I couldn't agree more, and this isn't even my favorite on the album. Every second of this is so necessary to the full experience, every moment of build-up, every delicacy, every single payoff. The whole experience is a wonder, so don't let those shortened edits get in the way. This is a song that, whilst we could explain our feelings towards, and very soon we will, nothing will help you understand the true masterful of it like listening for yourself. So if you somehow missed this one, go listen to it, as well as the phenomenal album it's from while you're at it, and we can get into a bigger discussion come Listmas.
And I think that there's no better way to wrap this countdown up than right here.
I wish it wasn't true.
And we're done with the Wait, you still haven't told me about Marge Simpson yet. What was all that about?
Okay, fine. What is the word Marge commonly short for?
Huh?
Margarine. And what's that an alternative to, Mike?
Oh, you bitch! You could have said something a long time ago.
Hey, Mike.
What?
Buddy.
Oh, fuck you.
We do a little trolling. That's fall 2021 for ya. Looking at the overall collective ranking, we got 1 shit song, 1 bad song, 5 mess songs, 6 decent songs, 6 good songs, a whopping 10 great songs, and one exceptional song, taking us to a score of 109 out of 150, 73%, which is pretty damn good if you ask me.
This is obviously averaging the score we got together. Ben's ranking is a 95 out of 150, or 63%, and mine's a 126 out of 150, or an 84%. Clearly I have the superior taste in music and liking the music more, but alas, both of us can agree that music has been fucking awesome lately. And to make it even better, here are 5 recommendations each of us have for hits.
Singing low while I pop a bottle off of your chain swinging, clang clang, and it costs a lot. Bitch, I'm always after Guala, yeah, and you are not badass beat. Keep on going till you hit the spot.
Meet me at a spot, call a vibe. Baby, are you coming for the ride? I just wanna look into your eyes. I just wanna stay for the night.
I'm obsessed with you in a way I can't believe. When you wipe your tears, do you wipe them just for me? Do you wipe them just for me?
I told my boy gon' roll like 10 blunts for me. I told my boy gon' roll like 10 blunts for me. I'm tryna get high till I can't feel nothing.
You know where to find me. They cannot define me, so they crucify me. House of flames when I leave. Come and purify me. Come and sanctify me.
We're searching for redemption. We're searching for redemption.
No, hey, low, baby, I'm the reason why hell's so hot. Inferno.
He say he like that Laffy Taffy. He's so goofy, call me daddy. He go stupid, he go daffy. Introduce me to his pappy. Silk chiffon,
chiffon, that's how it feels. I am not a woman, I'm a guy. I am not a martyr, I'm a problem. I am not a legend, I'm a fraud. So keep it like a say you already got one. I am not a woman, I'm a guy.
only you know what's going on in my life. Yesterday, why don't we go dancing in the rain?
You know what? I really did enjoy doing this ranking. You're a great friend and collaborator, as much as I hate you 90% of the time.
Hey, it's the 10% that counts. I loved doing this with you, and you're awesome, even if your opinions suck sometimes.
I think I may have the better opinions, but regardless, then this was a great experience, and probably my favorite thing I have ever done on YouTube. Thanks a ton.
It's mutual. In fact, I think we could both even say, You light up my life.
Oh, fuck you.